Deepak sir, thank you so much for joining in and welcome to the Money Show where we'll talk about NPS and the plan that PFRDA has for this retirement investment instrument. So first of all, congratulations. The number of subscribers under NPS and APY have crossed 6.62 crores. Total AUM, if we look at the figure, it's gone beyond 10 lakh crores. So congratulations, a very remarkable figure, achievement for you. But then I also want to understand what all contributed, for the AUM to come at this number, and also what's your target for FY24 now?
Thank you, Kavita. Very happy to be in your show. You see that this is really a landmark that we achieved AUM of 10 trillion rupees, and from 5 trillion to 10 trillion it took under 3 years, to be exact, 2 years 10 months to achieve this number. And this has been possible. Of course, this is a function of both contribution coming in and the function of the market, how the markets are giving returns, and both combined. So this has helped this corpus to grow. Our side, a lot of digital enablement has happened. That eKYC, for example, that which is being done, seamless onboarding of subscriber. So that has also been helpful. And we have also activated the intermediary channel, because we have allowed agents also to come in and then sell NPS. So that also helps. And then finally, the awareness. We are doing outreach. We are, even going into the regional centers and speaking to the stakeholders, including subscriber. So that has also helped. Also, all this combined, I would think that helped the numbers to grow.
Lovely. But I also want to know what is your next target now for FY24? What is the figure that you're looking at?
See, FY24 all going well, so we should be close to 12 lakh crore because we are past 5 months. Okay. So the remaining 7 months. So that is the kind of a number that we are aiming at.
We hope that you achieve that. But then I also want to know the kind of new features that you've been adding to NPS now. A specific service of SWP, Systematic Withdrawal Plan, that was about to be introduced. What are the implementation plans? What's going to be the process? If you can just elaborate on this.
No, so that's a good news because, we have gone through the digital and the front-end developments. Sure. And I'm told that we should be in a position to roll it out. Of course, it has to be done through the CRAs next month. That is October, somewhere starting from the middle to the end. So we should be able to roll it out. So this gives additional option because if somebody exits or superannuates, one would have to take percent, in terms of annuity. The balance 60% can be kept or withdrawn. But there was kind of a demand that people saying that your NPS is giving a good return. So why not I stay and first utilize that 60%? So now what we have done, that post superannuation or post the age 60 till 75, one can exercise this option. Okay. So the 60% can be withdrawn on monthly or quarterly or annual rest, the way the customer desires. And this is also automated. So they can give one-time option. So the 60% gets dismantled. In that process, one can even, one can even postpone taking annuity till the age of 75. Of course, one can always exercise that option. So this brings in a lot of flexibility to the NPS, and we hope so there would be more demand going forward for the NPS.
Yes, definitely. SWP being a very important feature, especially for retirees. Also, we've been noticing that PFRDA has really embarked on a very crucial branding mission for NPS. Can you throw some light as to how can this change the entire perception of maybe a retirement instrument that is there in the country, or maybe the way people look at NPS? What is the mission that you've been on?
Uh, See, the potential is huge.
Right.
If you look
Definitely.
at the private space, that you would see that all citizens model where anybody can really come in. So as of now, we have only 31 lakh enrollments. Obviously, there is a lot of scope, and we unscramble the data a little bit, then we see that 75% of that number really comes from the salaried employed people in the government or the private sector. Balance 25% obviously comes from the professionals and homemakers. Even students are also there. So there is scope for that section to really grow. Professionals are there, so they can certainly afford to subscribe to pension.
Right. Right.
The other aspect would be that if we look at in terms of the gender distribution, that one would see that this is quite imbalanced, because only 25%, 28% are women in the whole setup and of NPS. And given that women have longer longevity, so they need the pension more. On their own they can do it, and where they cannot, the spouse should also enable and give a pension. So we are focusing on family as a whole. Of course, in the grouping that I said, that the kind of distribution that we have seen, we see some students are also there, which is a good sign. I think pension is something, it is important to join early, so that one can really harness the power of compounding. So targeting more, youngsters coming into the fold. So these are the few things that we are doing. The other area that where there is potential and not yet, for example, the rural area or tier 2, tier 3 cities. So we are putting a special focus on that side, because one thing we have done that, we are now requesting RRBs, so they're enabling that process, that they can really offer NPS also, because as it is, the RRBs are doing pretty well in rural areas as far as APY is concerned. But now additionally, they would also be offering NPS. So that itself should bring in a larger number of people, and people in all parts of the country will have an access to us.
Hats off to the mission that you are on, and really great initiatives from your end, sir. But I really want to elaborate a bit on the youngster point. I mean, that is a very crucial stage where you also teach them about the importance of retirement planning. How are you doing it? What kind of awareness programs especially for youngsters, have you been rolling out? When you talk about focusing on them, how do you encourage them to invest at a very young age in a product like NPS?
So one would be the digital
Sure.
enablement. So that means through the digital media, that outreach that we are doing, media and otherwise also social media, through which that we are trying to reach the youngsters. It is not the PFRDA which is also doing it, because the intermediaries also, we have asked them to also roll it out and reach out to youngsters in that process. And so, as I mentioned, onboarding also, we have made it seamless and fully digital. So this should reach more and more youngsters. And we are also giving kind of awareness, because currently the youngsters, they keep changing jobs. They come in and out of employment. They may work here, then can go abroad and work, and then come back. So in that scenario, so the knowledge that we are giving, that NPS is portable. So one could be in a formal employment, and tomorrow one may not be in an employment. We can change the NPSM number stays. It becomes for the private citizen. One has a stint abroad also as a NRI, that one can also subscribe to NPS. So that helps. Apart from that, we have retirement plans. So they're also organizing a lot of camps and they're giving knowledge not only to the end users but also to the intermediaries, because there is a challenge again to educate the intermediaries, particularly the agents. For example, the business correspondents who could also do NPS. So this is a new product they would be doing. So there's a need to educating them also and elaborating the features of NPS. So this is the way that we are proceeding. But it is for the long haul. So given the potential which is there, so we have a long way to go.
One very important question. Talking about certain states, they're opting for one-time pension. How do you look at it, and how does it exactly work with NPS? Because as far as we understand the product, it's not the way it works, right?
The first thing I should tell you that as far as the state governments are concerned, the NPS space is growing. That if you see that year on year, because I have number up to August, so more than 5 lakh state government employees have been onboarded on the NPS side. And if you look at corpus, you spoke about that 10 trillion rupees that we have, almost half, almost 5 trillion really comes from the state government, and which on an annual basis, the current number year on year has shown an increase of about 26%. So the bottom line of that is that the space is growing in case of state government. As far as about the few states that you mentioned, I would not like to name the states, but the states have come into this through their own legislative process, through notification, and subscribe to our statute and the agreement. So given that there is no provision of lump sum withdrawal by the employer of the accumulated corpus. So obviously, even if contribution may not come in certain cases, but the corpus which is there, that continues to grow. And it is managed in the interest of subscriber. And I should tell you, the return on the in this state scheme is about 9.3% per annum. So it is earning a very handsome return and continues to grow in the whole process.
So any update on the minimum assured return scheme?
Minimum asset return scheme that from the last time we spoke, we have not made very significant progress. That still remains in the works. The issue again is to balance both the risk and return, because additional capital has to be brought in, and after providing the guarantee which would be provided by the private sector. So obviously there is a challenge that what kind of a return so they're showing and interest they're showing, so that would really help enthused customers to come into the minimum assured return scheme. But still we are working on that. And then let's see that how we go about it.
Right, and we wish you all the best for achieving all the targets. Thank you so much for joining in today and talking to us on ET Now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kavita. Thank you.